Now today we're also announcing a groundbreaking public-private partnership that's going to help fund legal services for unaccompanied minors. This country is facing an immigration crisis, but these children face a crisis in their home countries that far surpasses anything we debate on Capitol Hill, City Hall, or on cable TV. This isn't a political issue, it's a moral one. Today we're beginning to chart a different course. Today's a day where we're saying enough. And today's the day when we fulfill the promise of this country as a beacon for the oppressed while Congress turns away. When I toured the surge docket last month, I said it was a heartbreaking experience. And after the tour, I knew that we needed to act. These are children who have fled unspeakable horrors in their countries. They are places where murders, roving gangs, and kidnappings are all just part of an average day. But when they go to the courts and they get to the courts, these children are not provided government-appointed counsel to represent them. This is despite the fact that many of these children have legitimate claims to relief. But without legal representation, these young people will be sent back to their home countries, where they will likely encounter abuse, persecution, gang violence, or possible death. We cannot turn our backs on these children. We cannot turn a blind eye to their plight, and we cannot pretend they do not exist. Simply put, New York City will not stand by as this crisis unfolds. We will take action. These children need and deserve representation, and that is what we are funding today. So here is how this works. The New York City Council funding comes from $1 million in council funds that were earmarked for legal services already in the fiscal year 2015 budget. The council will be allocating these funds to providers to supply legal services to these children. $1 million investment would have been good, but we want it to go bigger. That is why we are joined today by the Robin Hood Foundation and the New York Community Trust. We engaged them with a plan. The council would allocate money to legal providers, and we wanted to see if they would help. Sure enough, both were eager partners and jumped at the chance to help. The Robin Hood Foundation bolstered the council's funding with a donation of $550,000, and New York Community Trust added a donation of $340,000. All told, it's approximately $1.9 million in funding. The funding for this initiative will focus primarily on increasing access to counsel for children in removal proceedings, the most critical and urgent need. They will leverage high-quality pro bono representation and integrate social services to lessen the growing backlog of children appearing on the juvenile and surge dockets. This will begin to ensure due process for minors who are struggling to maneuver the immigration system alone. The partner agencies will utilize different models of representation. As part of this program, the Legal Aid Society and the DOOR will each accept cases for direct representation and also co-counsel cases with pro bono lawyers from select New York City law firms. Catholic Charities Community Services will provide direct representation through staff attorneys and law student interns under strict staff supervision. The Safe Passage Project will place cases pro bono with alumni of New York Law School, as well as pro bono associates from New York area law firms. Make the Road New York will accept cases for direct representation and accept referrals from the juvenile and surge dockets. Central American Legal Assistance will accept referrals from the juvenile and surge dockets for direct representation. It will also help with social, mental health, and medical services. This is government functioning at its best. We've identified a problem, found a way to use existing resources to fix it, while at the same time engaging with partners in the private sector to help leverage our commitment. Robin Hood and the New York Community Trust should be commended for their promise to help these children. Thank you very much. With Washington's failure to act on comprehensive immigration reform, it's falling to states and very often to cities to fill in the gaps. Today we're doing more than just filling in a gap, however. Today we're announcing a program that will make a difference and has the potential to change and save lives. New York has always been a city that has opened its arms to those in need. That is the promise of New York, that is the promise of this country, and that is why we're announcing this program today. Today we're living up to our highest ideals, and I am proud to be here with such wonderful partners I want to thank all of my colleagues that embrace this idea and really support me in all of these efforts. And so with that, I would like to ask some of our partners and then the chair of the Immigration Committee, Carlos Menchaca, to say a few words. We will start with Eric Weingartner, who's the managing director of the Robin Hood Foundation.
Thank you very much. It's really an honor for me to be here. I'm Eric Weingartner on behalf of Robin Hood, New York City's largest poverty-fighting organization. A big thank you to the Speaker, to the Council for their partnership and initiating what I think is the most ideal public-private partnership we could think of at Robin Hood. At Robin Hood, our most trusted and important partner has always been the City of New York. And in this particular case, in the time when 2,500 unaccompanied minors will come to New York City in a year with a gap of, a very significant gap of over 1,000 kids needing access to counsel with no counsel in sight, together with the Council and the New York Community Trust, Robin Hood is stepping up to make sure that every single kid that needs access to justice will be ensured that. I think that the Speaker's remarks talking about this being an important thing for the nation to consider as a model. We'll see how we do. We're committed for 18 months, and we'll evaluate this program and monitor it incredibly carefully. We're very pleased that some of Robin Hood's long-time and most trusted grantees are at the center of this, including The Door, Make the Road, and Legal Aid. In particular, Legal Aid has showed remarkable leadership in helping to craft this program. And I'd just like to say that the idea that a kid is four times more likely to be sent back to their country if they don't have access to counsel is evidence enough that this program is important, timely, and a critical intervention in the lives of kids that have every right to have a remarkable life in this country or their own. And the kind of experience that they left is to be considered super, super carefully because asylum and deportation are very, very serious. So thank you very much again to the Council, and we look forward to producing some remarkable results for some very vulnerable kids. Thanks.
Thank you so much. I know we've also been joined, I see Inez Dickens, Corey Johnson, Steve Levin. Did I miss anybody else? Okay. I'm sorry? Okay, and now we're going to hear from Sean Moorhead, Program Officer for the New York Community Trust.
Thanks.
Yes, thank you.
I don't want to reiterate what my colleagues have already said. There are thousands of young people fleeing to our city to find safety, education, and a productive life. Many of them, under current immigration law, are entitled to stay here and lead the productive life that they dream of. But without a lawyer, they're unlikely to know that, and even if they know it, they're unlikely to be able to comply with the legal requirements so that they can stay. So we are very proud to join with the City Council and our colleagues at Robin Hood Foundation and our colleagues at the city's nonprofits who have decades of experience working with minor children who have immigrated into our city to provide legal representation for these young people. So thank you. I'm excited. Universal representation in this situation wasn't something anybody was thinking about even 6 weeks ago. And so it's a tremendous honor to be a part of providing that for our city's youth.
Before I introduce the chair of our Immigration Committee and a great partner in all these issues, I do want to say that none of this work that we do as council members is possible without the assistance of our staff. And I want to thank Elizabeth De Leon. I want to thank Crillian Francisco. I want to thank Matt Golub and Rod Newman, who really, really took on this initiative and facilitated where we are today. And so with that, I'll ask the chair of our Immigration Committee, Carlos Menchaca, to say a few words.
Thank you, Speaker. And I also want to just start with a thanks. This was something that immediately, when we all found out about it, the docket, the surge that was coming to New York City, we knew that we needed to bring the biggest ideas to the table, and that's what we did. And so what you're seeing is a culmination of possibility that when we reached out to what I keep on calling the superheroes of our community that are going to be defending the kids that are coming through immigration court, that the lawyers, and thank you to Robin Hood and New York Community Trust. This is a partnership that is just the beginning as we continue to talk and elevate. the impacts that we're having with this council that is very serious in responding to crisis. The crises are going to continue to come, but this council is every day standing up and making sure that we have a solution. The fact that this legal counsel is going to be coming to fruition in this way is going to have huge impacts. This is what we feel in the district office really almost every day. People are coming in asking how they maneuver through immigration court. And this is the second time we've come to you all. The New York Immigrant Family Unity Project was another kind of victory where we're bringing legal services where there were none. And we're creating within these deserts opportunity where we are actually saving lives. And so really with the leadership of the Speaker of the City Council, Melissa Mark-Viverito, and the members of the Immigration Committee and our staff, thank you to my staff who has been just incredibly helpful in making sure that we're understanding this at the local level, at our district level. We are so proud to be standing here today. So thank you. We invite you to come back and listen to our hearing we're having next week. We will be looking and really understanding what everybody is doing. And we're standing up here with a sea of folks, our superheroes, across all levels of government that are responding. And we want to make sure that we're responding to our fullest. And we're not going to stop until we get there. So thank you so much, and looking forward to the program and the partnership.
I'm going to just read a couple of words in Spanish because this is an important moment.